Okay, let's continue with adding and subtracting fractions. We're going to do more examples, okay? But before I continue, I want to make sure, how do you get better? How do you get better in doing anything? Well, you got to practice. You got to put in the time. All right? There is only one way. There is no such thing I'm bad at math. That doesn't fly. You need to practice. The more practice you do, the better you get. Simple as that. As long as your practice is done properly and is a correct way for you following the rules, you're good. So practice, practice, practice. That's what we're going to do, okay? So let's look at some of these questions. All right, there are two fractions we got. Notice that there are negative signs all over the place, so we need to polish that. I would suggest we do that first. So I will rewrite this as negative 11 over 6, and then there is a negative sign in here, right there, and there's a negative in there. So you could actually say negative divided by negative number, the two negatives, that makes it positive. Remember, division of two negative numbers, the sign of the answer will end up being positive. So you can actually just say that's plus, okay? And that's plus 11 over 18. Now it's a little bit more simpler, okay? So now you can go ahead and do the addition. Now remember, the first fraction is negative. All right, now go ahead and come up with the lowest common denominator. What is the LCD? In this case, the LCD, the lowest common multiple, is 18, because 6 goes into 18 3 times and 18 goes to 18 once, okay? So we just have to change the first fraction, the denominator of that, to 18. And how are we going to do that? Well, that is by multiplying 6 by 3, and so as the negative 11 on top. Great. So this is LCD is 18. Now we have that. Let's now rewrite. So we have 18 as a lowest common denominator. On top we have 3 times negative 11. That would be negative. I gotta rewrite this. Okay, so first fraction, we multiply top and bottom by 3, so we get negative 33, and then the bottom will be 18, lowest common denominator, so 18 and 18. So we don't have to multiply the second fraction by anything except 1, but it's not going to change anything. So now we just write one of the denominators, 18, and then we're just going to do the addition. In this case, it's actually subtraction. So what is that? That is negative 22 over 18, and here we do have to simplify. So 2 goes into both of them, so this would be negative 11. 22 divided by 2 is negative 11. 18 divided by 2 is 9. So our final answer will end up being negative 11 over 9, and that is it. You can leave it as an improper fraction, that's okay. All right, let's look at this question. All right, we have two negative fractions, negative rational numbers. Let's go ahead. Denominators are not the same. We have to come up with the lowest common denominator. So what is the LCD? Now, in case you want to go ahead and find it, just look at the larger of the two denominators, and what are the multiples? Let's start with the multiples. I mean, 9 doesn't go into 12, so we know that it has to be multiples of 12, right? So we can actually go ahead and say, okay, 12 times 2, 24. Does 9 go into 24? No, it doesn't. Then you have to do 12 times 3. That's 36. Does 9 go into 36? Yes, it does. And here it is. That is your lowest common denominator, 36. So the very first one, as multiples of the larger of the two denominators, or three denominators, however many fractions you have, that becomes the lowest common denominator. All right, we need to make both of these denominators 36, so multiply 9 by 4, multiply the top by 4 as well. Remember, numerator and denominator, same fraction, we have to do the same. 12, multiply that by 3, multiply the numerator of that by 3, and then we're going to go through that. So what do we have? We have 36 in the denominator. On top we have negative 4 times 15, negative 15, that is negative 60, minus 3 times 13, 39. Great. Same denominator. And now we're going to go ahead, and subtract, or add in this case, negative 99. Now, can we simplify? Sure we can. Divide the top and bottom by 9. Okay, we can do that. 9 is, we can do that's the GCF, or you can do 3 and then you go ahead and simplify more later, but you can just do right away. So that becomes negative 11. That becomes 4. Final answer, negative 11 over 4. And that's it. Okay, that is it. Okay, important note. Make sure you're paying attention right now about this, okay, in case you have forgotten. I have written 3 fractions, and I have basically changed where the negative signs are showing up here, okay? And all of these fractions are equal to each other. So you could have negative in front of the fraction, 5/8. That's a negative fraction. Or you can have negative in front of the 5, or I guess behind 5. Negative 5 over 8. That's the same value. Or you could have negative for 8 becomes negative 8. 5 over negative 8. They are all the same. All of these are the same, as I have put an equal sign between them. Okay, so make sure that you know this. All right, practice time.